Hello everyone, welcome back to the Life and Times of Mulch. There's me. Today we are working on the next 5 stages of the Volkswagen T1. As you know, one of my favourite builds. I love building this little camper van slash bus slash whatever you want to call it. I just love it. It's a good fun build. Will today be fun? Let's wait and see. We've got some little bits to do today. Let's see how they go. So let's fire up the kettle, pour the Yorkshire tea, and make us a nice VW T1. Come on, it's gonna be good. Welcome back everybody. Nice to be back in my happy place, which is the Volkswagen build. So far this build has probably been one of my favorites because it's been nice, relaxing, fairly easy stages. Let's see if we continue with that today, and I hope I haven't just jinxed it. So let's start off with stage number 38. We're really cracking on with this. So number 38. This is the bag with the parts for 38, so let's get it open and take a look. Okay, so we've got some more of this matting there. We've got lots of little pieces here. Looks like we've got some wires and stuff as well there. And a gear stick. Some other little fixtures and fittings. Got some silver screws, which are BPO6 screws. Got some very small pins there. We've got some more brackets there, and we've got some BPO8 silver screws there. So the first thing we've got to do is we've got to put this on the bus. Where's the bus? Here it is. I mean, I call it a bus, but it's a camper. A bus is a friendly UK name for a small, it's more like a little minibus, little camper. Anyway, so we're going to push this. It has got locating lugs, so we're just going to find all the holes, and once that's all in the holes, it's going to look like that, nicely in place. So one of the first things we need on this is this little pedal. This is the throttle pedal, and we need one of these small pins as well. So in the square at the front there and the little hole, that's where the throttle pedal is going to sit. So it's going to go in that hole, just like that. Okay, on that side. All right, from underneath I've put my band on just to hold that mat on, but if you can see from here where the pedal's poking through, there's a little hole there, and we need to put a pin through there to hold the throttle pedal in, so I'm going to put that in. Okay, that was a mighty struggle, but we got the pin in there. You can see that black on black is kind of hard to see. Then we have another pedal with another hole. It's going to go in this hole here. It's going to go through there, like that. And we're going to put a pin in, the other pin, again, from the back. We're going to pin that just through there. That one a little bit quicker than the last one. So the pin is through there. And then obviously from the other side, you've got your pedal. And we've got one more pedal, and that just goes in this end hole, just there. That was nice and easy because it's just a push in, but there's all the 3 pedals in the front. And that's everything in that stage, so everything else that you've got in there, keep that all safe for when we need that next time. So moving on to stage 39. And in stage 39 you get another tyre for another wheel, which is very stiff, so we will be putting that in some hot water shortly. But before we do that, in this stage we need to work on bits that we got in the previous stage. Let's bring over this again. Now obviously appreciate that this is getting bigger and it's getting harder to film, so I will do the best that I can. Right, just to point out, we've got two leads here. One of them's got 01 on and one of them has got 02 on. The first one we need is 01. It's quite a thin wire, so just be careful. Just going to straighten it out as best I can. So as you can see on this cable, it's got like a little push button there. We're going to be inserting that where we put the first pedal, just in there. Okay. Then we need the larger of our two brackets, and that's going to go over where that switch is, and we're going to secure that down with two of these BP08 screws. It's going to look just like that. Then we're going to take the BP02 wire and we're going to do the same. We're going to lay it so the switch goes just in that box there. Okay. And then as we did before, but with the slightly smaller bracket, we're going to put a bracket over it with some more BP08 screws. And that's the second one of those. So moving on to stage 40. And this is what we get for stage 40. It's the other half of the wheel. There you go. Let's see what we're going to be doing in this stage. So in this stage we're going to be doing the rest of these small parts that we got in the first pack. So let's see what to do first. Okay, the first thing we got is these two very small switches. And they are going to go in the front of this panel here and here. So let's put those in. Okay, so they're both in. I don't know if you can see, but I've slightly marked mine from just getting them in, but they were very, very tough to get in. And next to that, you've got a slightly bigger one that goes in the hole next to those two. That one went in a lot easier. It's a lot bigger. You got more to push on. Okay, next we're going to put the gear stick in, which is this piece, and it's got a D shape on the bottom, which is going to marry up with what's on there. I'm just going to hold it because it's hard to hold and film. That's going to go there, and it's going to be screwed from the underside with a BP06 screw. Let's do that. Okay, so from underneath it's screwed in just there, and from the top that's what your gear stick looks like. And lastly we've got this, which looks like the handbrake, and that's the top, and the bottom bit there is going to go just a push in. It's going to go in that slot just there, so that handbrake is there. Now it's also saying just to give these pedals a little touch, and you should be able to hear a little click for the switch. I don't know if you can hear that on camera, but there is noise, which is good. But I'm going to move all that out of the way because we're now on to issue number 41. And these are the parts for issue 41. I'm going to leave them in the bag for a minute, just going to see what we need to do before I start opening things. And I was right not to open it, because the first thing that we got to do is we need to put this wheel inside this tyre. And if you know anything about part work models and putting tyres onto wheels, they are extremely tough. So we need to put this into some boiling hot water to soften it up, so then we can get this on a lot easier. So let me get some water and a tea towel and we can do that. I've put the bowl to one side because it is boiling and it might steam up the camera. So it goes without saying, just be careful when you're putting tyres in boiling water and taking them out. So I'm just going to place that in. It doesn't need a huge amount of time, but just give it time to soften up. So I don't know, 30 seconds maybe tops. It doesn't need a lot. All you're doing is softening out the rubber so you can get it over this, because they are really tight fit, and you will have a really hard time if you don't soften up the tyre first. Okay, even softening out is a struggle, but it is on. Don't worry if you trap a little bit of water in there, it will eventually leave the tyre. But there you go, that makes it just that bit easier getting that on. All right, once that's on, it's going to live behind the seat. So you should be able to just move your seat forward. You move that one, slide that one forward as well. So you've got space there. Take your wheel, and that's just going to sit in that space that's there. And you can close your seat, push that other one back, and your wheel is nicely hidden away in there. So all that hard work you did putting the tyre on, and now you can't see it, but it is behind there. So moving on to the last stage in this particular pack, number 42, and here are the parts for 42. And obviously you've got the parts that we have for 41 as well. So let's see what we need to break out. So we do need the parts that we got in the previous pack. So we've got these plastic bits here, and these, and this bit's here, and we've also got some more BPO6 screws. Okay, there is a left hand side and there is a right hand side. Luckily it says on there R for right and L for left, so we know which is which. So first we need to get the right part. This is the crankcase, and we need to get this other part that we got here. There's a part sticking out with the hole there. That's going to go on that peg just there. So line it up, push it over, and that is going to look like that. This is the right hand side. Then take the left hand side and push that all together. Secure all that with two of them BP06 screws, one in there and one in there. Okay, so that's all attached. Next we need to take this piece and keep it this way around. It's going to go on the left hand side. It's going to go in these two holes here. It's just to push in. That's going to look like that. You'll see there's like a little notch on there that's facing up. So we need to do the same on the right hand side. Again, in these two holes. So when that's put together, that will look something like that. And that is all we do in that stage. So the parts that we get in 42, as intriguing and as lovely as they look, really want to break them open and see what's happening. We don't do anything with those. Let's keep them safe for next time. That is the last thing that we do on this. And there you go, we're done. Wasn't very much to do today, but it was very fiddly. I'll show you in a minute. The little pins I had great fun with those. We did build this part, which I believe could be the start of the engine, I'm not sure, but it's very simple put together piece. It's all plastic, so we created that. And if I can bring up the camper, obviously it's very large. Like I say, we've done a lot of details. The biggest thing we did on the actual bus was this, well no, two things we did on the bus that was big was put this mat down. That was just a pushing, and we also, if I can do this, never easy to do this, don't want to break anything, bear with, there you go. We did also put, can I come forward anymore? there you go. We did put the spare wheel, so we made that, and so that's all in. And then we put all these little details. We put the obviously the accelerator, the brake and the clutch, handbrake and the gear stick, and underneath we attach them all, and we've also got two wires. One is attached to the throttle, so obviously we're going to have some sort of throttle noise, and one is attached to the brake, so I presume we'll have some brake lights at some point as well. Like I say, there's these little rods that you have to put in for them switches, just to hold where they pivot, and it's very, very tricky, very, very tricky. There might have been some swearing, but don't worry, I've cut that bit out. Am I still enjoying it? Yes, I'm still enjoying it. Was it really fiddly? Yes, it was really fiddly, but it's still good. I will be doing some cable tidying on these cables. It just says put a bit of masking tape or something, just tie them up, so I will be doing that. The very small switches in the front here, they were hard to get in. I did actually mark them up by pushing them in, but I think it's okay. I think it adds to the authenticity. There's a word for your day, authenticity. So there you go, that's what we've done today for the VW campervan. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'm still enjoying the build, like I say. I always, it's funny with this one, I always want to do more, With the others, I get to the end and I'm like, I'm all right now for a few more weeks, but this one I just want to build and build and build all the time. So I get very impatient with this one. So looking forward to the next few parts, and I hope you enjoyed that. Please continue watching and subscribing and liking like you are. It's lovely to see, and I'll see you next time, right here on the camper side of Mulch. Off we go, off we go.